So we came back. One weekend we came back. And the Ijede, the king of the village, had decided that this weekend was going to be one where they needed to exorcise the village of demons. And we didn't know this. And they did it on weekend because people come back for the weekend from the city, and they'd have the whole village there. We didn't know this, and we were driving in after dark to the village, and the end of the tarmac ends, and there's the village, and then there's Lagoon. And as we drove up, there was a guy standing at the end of the tarmac, end of the road, with swinging this lantern, and it was he called himself the Secretary of State for the village, and he launched. We had a 16-year-old, 17-year-old Nigerian girl that was hired to help take care of Taryn. And she would go in with us so that Rhonda and I could go in and do development calls, and she would stay with Taryn every day. We, in the car, stopped, and the Secretary of State stuck his head in the door and launched off into this Yoruba, which the language itself sounds like drums. It's an interesting, especially when it's spoken in agitated form. And this woman who's sitting in the middle between Andrea, between Rhonda and I, only women in my life, and with Taryn in her lap, and she just almost literally goes through the roof and screams and is yelling in half Yoruba, half English, go to the house in Yoruba, and go to the house. And so we didn't know what was going on, we drove to the house, and she just bolts out of the car and goes into the house. And so we're getting out of the car, and we go in, and we're trying to calm her down and ask what's going on. She says they're exorcising the demons. And she says, if a woman is caught outside between sundown on Friday and sunup on Monday, they are liable to be possessed by these demons that are being exorcised because they're looking for places to go. And especially if a woman is on her period, then it's virtually assured that the demon will possess her, and the only thing they can do is kill her. And so, and so we're there. It all at once became, it was no longer this kind of interesting anthropological study of African culture. It was a situation of what is reality here? And for sure we're going to be dealing with this reality. And it's not like just because we're white, we're going to be able to kind of circumvent the rules and go have our normal business as usual. So we holed up for the weekend with instructions. The king, the Secretary of State came over and required us to put blankets up in the windows. This was a 2-story house actually. Blankets up in the windows of the top story so that we could not see out. Because part of the ritual of cleansing the village was to have these good spirits come into the village and do this dance. And the good spirits were guys dressed up in costumes, but these costumes had headdresses that were 10, 15 feet tall. And what they didn't want us doing was looking over into the headdresses to see that there was really a person there. And that was because it's kind of like looking at the face of God or something, and because then you were compromised as well. And so for our own safety, so we wouldn't be looking out and seeing these characters, we had put blankets all around the windows so that we wouldn't see. And otherwise we just spent the weekend in the house. And this was 75, it was from a religious point of view, Nigeria is, at the time, was 75% Muslim and 25% Christian, but the story was, that may be true, but it's 100% African animist religion, and it was absolutely.